This video finds you as you let go and go free. In fact, you realize it's deeper than that, that you're remembering who you really are. And you see that you're already not holding on, you're already free. You're already this beingness, this awake, aware presence that's aware to itself. You are already this aliveness, this openness, this peace that underlies all experience. And you realize, no, you remember you are this screen of awareness as which everything appears. And you notice that this is already free, free from personal story, free from ideas of limitation, free from any resistance to any emotion. And you notice that there's no holding on. That was an idea in the mind. You're already this freedom, free to fearlessly face all those things you've ever wanted to create, all those things you've ever wanted to do, all those things you've ever wanted to express to others. You're free to boundlessly, creatively express as a spontaneous happening, already in flow, without the fear of rejection or running out of money or things not working out. Because you realize all of that to be ideas in the mind, stories, and what's really present is this beingness, this awake, aware presence that you are. And you don't identify with any of those stories. You no longer take yourself to be any limited idea of yourself. You no longer believe yourself to be the one in any dark imaginings of yourself, any story where you are anything less than your fullest expression of yourself. For those are just thoughts, right? Mental images, just mental movies that aren't true because you're awake to the reality of consciousness. You're aware of yourself, not as those fearful limiting ideas, but as this boundless open space appearing as everything. Everything I'm saying are invitations, not to just believe me or take on a new belief, but to look what's true for you. I'm not trying to educate you or give you a pep talk. I'm simply trying to point out a deeper reality we both know is lurking in the background as the fundamental basis of all that is and at the core of who we really are. Because there's a reason this video appeared in your awareness. It's pointing you back home, pointing you back to yourself. It's a message that's saying the real you is fearless. Remember, the real you is fearless because you are this beingness that can bear anything. You hold everything without resistance. You bear witness to every thought, every feeling, every situation with complete equanimity. And so you are free to be you, to be who you really are, to pour your love and energy into your creative expression and fearlessly create. To start that new business, that new project, that new art project, music project, being the change you want to see in the world. Because it's a natural expression of who you really are. And you realize you're already this awareness that's free. And so as this awareness, as this freedom, you are fearless because you're fearless of the fear. As you approach creative activities in life, sensations may arise in the body. Feelings we usually label as fear, stress, or anxiety, but you stay aware of yourself as the beingness that's fundamentally safe and unharmed by any of these sensations. And in the open spaciousness of what is, these emotions, these tensions, all this physically holding on in the body and in the mind can begin to relax and dissolve. You allow your body and mind to completely relax and unwind because you stay aware of yourself as this openness that allows the body and mind to relax naturally and allow thoughts and emotions to come and go, to peak and subside, whilst you remain aware of yourself as this open beingness. And you discover that, contrary to some beliefs, it's not a passive state. You discover there's great energy in it. All the energy that was being used by overthinking and all that going around in mental stories or trying to hold back feelings is freed up to move through the body and to fuel all of your fearless, authentic expression. you are free to trust because you realize you are this trust. Distrust is simply in thinking, in taking yourself to be a limited identity, but you don't believe those thoughts anymore. You see them simply as appearances and awareness, and you are this wide open awareness that they appear within. And so as you rest perceptually open as this wide open, boundless field of beingness, the great I am, you realize it to already be trust because it's already open. It's already open to the flow of life, allowing all thoughts and emotions and circumstances to flow straight through it without resistance, with complete non-attachment, with complete equanimity. Because for the real you, it's all equal. Because the real you is fundamentally free from whatever's happening. The real you is fundamentally at peace despite any appearances. It's not judging. All judgments are just thoughts appearing in this awareness, but you don't take yourself to be a judger. You don't take yourself to be those thoughts. The real you is this stillness underlying all the form, is this beingness that gives rise to everything, and yet is completely free from it at the same time. So if a thought appears in this awareness that says, I can't do it, you don't have to take yourself to be the I in that thought. You don't have to take yourself to be the character that says, I can't do it. It's just a sound, it's a story. And if a thought in this awareness appears that says, it's not going to work out for me, it never works out for me, you don't take yourself to be the one in that thought. You know yourself as this presence, this awareness that the thoughts appear within. You don't listen to it as if it's true and push yourself into that limited concept of yourself. You instead remain aware of yourself as simply being aware, wide open and not constrained by any limited identity. For you were never that limited identity to begin with. You're this complete spontaneity that allows complete spontaneous, uncontrived action to arise naturally. You're not constrained by fearful thoughts because they're just data points floating in awareness. You're not constrained by any idea that you can't face the feelings that facing into any activity might bring up in you. Because if adrenaline is triggered, or nervous system activation, or if you feel strong physical sensation in the body, none of these can harm you because you're the space unharmed by any appearance. You're no longer restricted by any idea that you can't do something, that you can't do what you really want to do. And I don't mean egoic pleasures. I mean what you really want to do in your heart, taking that project to the next level, making those bold business moves, creating that lifestyle you've always dreamt of, perhaps free to travel, be your own boss, or to serve others deeply with your gifts, because it's all available to you, because you're not bound by any thought that says it's not. You're not bound by any limited identity of yourself. You're free to assume any concept of yourself. You're free to imagine yourself doing or being anything, because the real you is this unconditioned consciousness, that unconditioned I am, before any idea of I am this or I am that. The real you is this unconditioned awareness that can take itself to be anything and to be doing anything. And as you remain aware of yourself as this unconditioned awareness, a whole universe of possibilities opens up, and you're free to imagine your self-expression, expressing your fullest, most authentic expression, and to assume that to be true of yourself. And as you rest and relax into that, it expresses more and more in the world of form. So you find yourself spontaneously acting, spontaneously creating from the freedom of simply being, unattached from outcome, allowing the next right action, insight, or intuition to just naturally flow, because you're like a child again, innocent, open, and curious. For the real you has always been this. It just got temporarily covered up by seemingly dense clouds of thoughts and emotions, old fears, old patterns, but now you recognize yourself to be this childlike wonder underneath, simply watching the dance and flow of life, of boundless creative expression pour out, not as a conceited effort to be something or someone, but as an expression of simply being, an expression of the beingness that you are. Before you go, I'd love the opportunity to briefly introduce to you my new community platform. It's called Awaken Embodied, and it's designed to help you live authentically as your true self, dissolve fear and uncomfortable emotions, access deep inner peace, and fearlessly, creatively express. More details and instant access to Awaken Embodied are available by clicking the link in the description, and I look forward to seeing you there. See you on the next video. Peace.